Hi everyone, I just finished I just jogged around the park here and I'm sweating. But anyway, happy Wednesday. It's the 3rd of June and again, I'm doing like my regular, not regular thugging, but I'm just trying to come up with something today to get my 1 cent across my pace. You don't have to agree what I'll say. It's my opinion, and you're also entitled to your own opinion. But I was just thinking about, reflecting about what's going on in the U.S. The violence, the riots, the looting, which is very unacceptable for a first world country. They may be first world, but I think in terms of behavior and all that, I think I would categorize them as the third class in the first world countries. I just don't see that very instant where people are looting, and that I see that is very unbecoming for a very civilized country. And I understand the fact that they're doing that because of what happened to George Floyd. It was just George Floyd, and I didn't see that very. The answer, and I honestly don't believe that riot and violence will be the answer. And while we're using social media as a platform where we can be heard and recognized, I don't think it's already an abuse for many using that to be a medium where they would put themselves, of putting themselves to be heard of. I understand that his death was very unfortunate in the hands of a white guy, so it was just like black versus white. But again, this racial discrimination, which is very common, it's not just in the US, it's just all over the world. And little did we know, even in our little communities, we do that. But my opinion is, it shouldn't be happening on any colors of our skin. In Canada, where I could also see so much of this discrimination, there was one time when I was sitting in a cafe and there was this white guy that came over and just took a chair from a brown guy and didn't even ask permission to grab that. And the brown guy was with two other friends. Little things, but it's not just self-entitlement in terms of color, but it just it struck me to think that some people would have that self-entitlement, and honestly, I totally abhor that. I will not tolerate that. As a matter of fact, I know that sometimes we regard ourselves in terms of our skin, white, brown, black, and pale, and we have our categories in terms of like how we will regard them in terms of color, and that's very unacceptable for me. I would treat you just like anybody else, unless you're from Mars. Maybe you'll be a little more regarded, but if you're just coming from any of the countries on the earth, then rest assured you'll be treated the same. So that being said, the violence in the US amidst of the threat of coronavirus, it's just adding up to the whole mess. I have families and friends in the US, and some of them I'm talking to, and I don't understand their situation, that they're not only dealing with the threat of the coronavirus, but they're also dealing with the peace and order in their communities. And I can understand that level of stress Here in Canada, where we're dealing with the coronavirus, we even like freaked out, and it's just unfortunate that we have other countries around the world that, aside from dealing with the pandemic, there are also other things going on, and it just adds up to the stress of the people. It's not helping them actually, but it's just like adding insult to injury. So I know that we have had our own opinion. We can always say it up front to many people, but how ungrateful we are as a human being, not be able to be respectful for everyone, regardless of your skin. And I've seen a lot of people just swearing. I was at one time doing some groceries. It was about 3 weeks ago, and there was this guy and there was this old Asian lady that had a bag, and she was putting in some stuffs there, and then the other guy was just like approaching her and said something like, "You shouldn't be doing that," and was just swearing and saying something like, "You're not supposed to be inside the store," sort of, or said something like, "You should go back to where you're from." It pained me to see something like that, because the immigrant that I am, I can throw in all sorts of my resentment to people, but I just keep it to myself because I do understand the people around me. But for me saying that when I'm in my home country to other citizens, for example, either coming from a different country, I wouldn't be doing that. So it's just like, how would you feel? How would you feel being singled out? And it annoys me and it pisses me off. It just throws me out of the window. And sometimes I'm not that very confrontational as a person. I take things to me and reflect on it. It's probably my personality. I'm not very vocal about it, but I put it on this platform on Facebook that this is my opinion. Again, going back for the ongoing riots and violence in the US, again, I'm just hoping and pray that everyone's gonna be safe and they'll find solution to that. I don't see that, for a country like the US, there should be more accepting of the fact that they should understand better as a civilized and a first world country they're saying. But it just doesn't seem to be that way for now. It's just becoming the opposite. And again, I got families and friends there, and I feel for them. I feel for their situation that they're in. Notwithstanding the fact that others don't even have jobs, or if not, they're working in hospitals. So it just doesn't help at all. But to sum it up, they're not helping their country at all. I'm just hoping that wouldn't happen here in Canada. I'm not saying that Canada is a little more lenient in terms of dealing with criminals. I've seen that to a lot of someone got caught and was treated with the police, but I haven't seen that being brutally treated as a criminal. And I'm just hoping that, again, in Canada, where it's a little more peaceful, that we will keep it that way amidst the threat of the coronavirus. And I think after that, when all else is better, then let's go back to business. I just want to put it this way, that how can we not be more respectful to one another regardless of our skin color, regardless of the position you're holding, regardless of your status in the community. It's just like, treat everyone that walks on the same path as you as a human being. And again, as I was saying, I would probably treat you more differently if you're coming from Mars or from Venus, but if you're just walking from a different country, walking on the same path with me, then I assure you that I will treat you just the same. Again, I'm praying for peace and for the whole world, and of course hoping that in the very near future we will be able to come back as what we used to, as I was saying before. I've been saying that, and back to what we were used to. So again, happy Wednesday. I'm gonna go get some shower after this walking. I'm tired, and yeah, I miss you guys. Bye.